for a little bit. Here we go. So we were playing a 13Q. Wait, so when you roll over, how did the point thing score? Oh. So he goes 4-4. We go 4-4. 4-4 basic. Hey, how you doing? Oh, I haven't. Well, they haven't sent me the email too, so I can't chat with these people. Oh well. So he's gonna pull back here maybe, and it's a pretty solid. Okay. Let's see what he's trying to do. This is a Chinese, but he want to approach first because this is a good play against the Chinese. But then now, does he know how to defend against it? This pincer? So he definitely is developing that. So we see that now. He's trying to develop this area, right? So we're gonna push in. We don't care about this stone. We don't care about that stone. We're gonna cancel what he wants to do. See? We're not gonna protect the stone. Okay, so he can save that stone. And then now we're gonna play this. Now the Chinese ineffective now. What is he doing? He wants to invade the corner and take the outside. Okay, you can't have both, buddy. You cannot have both. You're gonna be weak on the outside. It's gonna be a ko. Let's see what he can do. We're gonna play here first. These stones are fine. If he extends, we can extend. He needs to play a move in here to live. So he has a problem right now. You can see right now he has a problem. And his problem is, we're gonna play here. No. His problem is he wants to play everywhere, and you just can't play everywhere. So here, he plays here. If we play here, this thing is dead. Is it dead? It doesn't matter. You know what? It doesn't matter. We're gonna try to keep it basic. Alright? This here is not alive. Let's see if he spends a move to make it alive. The Hane, he plays here. Let's see what he does with the Hane. I mean, this is really bad. How is he gonna live here? Okay. Play here. It's a ko. Now he has to play here. Then we connect. Alright, we're gonna exchange this first. Then we use it for code threats, okay? So we're gonna make some code threats first. Right, okay, so now we play it. Now we play for the corner. See, so he has to take it. And then now we can just Atari down and capture this stone here. It's also a bad move. I'm gonna do this. Cut. Threaten to cut. And then squeeze this one. And then this one's gonna die by itself. So we want to play here to protect our cuts. This cut right here. And we make some eyes. And then now this group is pretty much dead. This guy's actually really aggressive. But I guess like 13Q, do you guys have to deal with aggressive play like this? Like he wanted to play here, and then he wanted to invade the corner, then he wanted to play everywhere. But then he also wanted to play the Chinese, which the Chinese is, you're supposed to build your framework and invite people to come in, and then you attack. But he's like attacking white. Now that doesn't work because does it work? No, we're gonna cut. Cut and squeeze. This group has a lot of agi. If he plays here, that's a bad move. He shouldn't have Atari because now, so, this group is actually not alive yet. So we're gonna play here to cut this off. He can't push in because Atari. We're gonna capture here. Capture this. He does have a squeeze right here that I kind of don't like, but I think this group is fine. Sacrifice this group and get the outside. What do you guys think of that? Huh? Are you brave enough to do that? Not an eye. Not an eye. Thickness. Thickness. And he doesn't want to run. Which, why would you do that? Not an eye. Not an eye. I'll just play. I just let him run down all the way to down here. Oh man. Okay. Okay. Alright. Okay. This here. We want to poke his eye out. This lean is pretty good. I think he get one eye here after this move. Maybe not. Because we do have this. Nah, he doesn't have an eye there. That is also a pokey eye. Not an eye. Okay, we got a nice wall here. And his corner is open at the 3-3. We made him lift here. I'm gonna play here to close this off. This group is alive no matter what. Let's see. Okay. He does have that move. Pretty good move. Pretty good move. And then, how many eyes does he have? He'll play here. Okay, I'm gonna play here. Let's see what he does. Let's see what you do. Okay, so this stone can be attacked now. Question is, does that make him alive? So he's alive, but we can take this in Sente. We should take it in Sente. Let's do it. So now we're like super solid. One group. Let's get on one group. This here. Okay, that's 3 stone. We're not gonna play that now. So now we're gonna attack this stone. Remember, all this stuff that he's doing, he's generating 3 points, 2 3 points, 3 points. It's not a ideal situation to be in to make a bunch of weak groups like this. We should play. I'm gonna play a Ko here because we have more Ko threat than he does. So he doesn't want to play the Ko though. He's gonna start a Ko here. He should have played the Ko here. If he connects, then after we attack, he can't play that because the double Atari. He's cut off. Not alive yet either, so because we can always. Okay, so now we can Atari here. Okay. Let's see what he's trying to do. If we connect here, and I'm just gonna be safe and let him live with the eye here, and then continue attacking this group here. So we are going to actually we're gonna take this. So prevent the kill, and the corner is big now. So see, it was his area, but he didn't do anything with it, so now it's gone. This doesn't work because white is really strong on the outside. It's just like super thickness. I'm not killing anything. If you notice, I'm not trying to kill anything here. Oh. We're gonna do this. He tried it to monkey jump his way out, I guess. So he does get an eye here, but we want to stay safe. He's not alive yet. And so now we're strong here. We can attack this stone by playing here. Stuff like that. He shouldn't have done that. He should have captured. Definitely shouldn't have done that, because now white's gonna force him. We're gonna force him to play a lot of bad moves here. So he has one eye. he definitely can't do that because now he'll get cut. So, you see this move right here? If you pull back and he connects, then he can somewhat connect, but because if there's a cut here, there's a cut or a move here, we can just now slice this like that. And he's dead. Eventually, if you play like this style, eventually one of your group is gonna die. You're not gonna be able to live every single time because each time you live, you give white, or you give your opponent strength on the outside, and it really off balance the rest of the game. So now we are going to play this one. It's a very aggressive style. Doesn't seem like he has a true opening. So now we're gonna shoulder hit and attack these group right here, and use our wall. And I'm gonna connect instead of capturing because I don't want the Atari. Yeah. We can play here, the bump like that to cut them off. Just try to stay super strong and attack the stone next to your strong group is a pretty good strategy. So we're gonna Atari from here. Capture this. And then play a Tatsuji like this. So instead of just like playing out like this, you play a Tatsuji like this because when your opponent forces you to connect, then you're gonna attack this stone. But if your opponent forces you this way, then you can attack the other one. So the stone is pretty strong. You just have to play the Tatsuji like this. So if he saved the bottom stone, something like that, then we push. Now we can play something like this and then make a bamboo joint. Like this. It's gonna be really hard for him to make two eyes here. I don't know why he did that, because now we can cut him again. We can just cut him off like that. And now we can just run out to make these stones weaker. And notice this wall is super strong. He's not going anywhere. Like, this way is always like running into death. See, so now he's running that group now that he sees it. So we're also going to run our group to make sure we have enough liberties. So this is fine because we can play this way and double Atari. OGS rank is a little bit weaker than I thought. Like, this 13Q lacks a lot of basics, it seems to me, in my opinion. Like, he's not... I think around 13Q I was playing Josuke, at least try to play Josuke, because if you can't read that far ahead, Josuke really helps because it prevents you having to read. You can always get an equal result, if anything. I mean, he's trying to make some Sapake. He's trying to make some, what's that word? I guess attacking shapes. He's trying to attack my shapes. But the rule in Go is you can't attack when you are weak. If you notice, all my group I try to keep pretty strong. And he was able to live somewhere else, here and there and everywhere. But eventually, your shape will get so strong that, like, the next time he does it somewhere else on the board, walls will come into place, and these stones comes into play later in the game. It's not like he gets stuff for free, you know. So he's trying to live here. I'm not even gonna try to kill this thing. I mean, it's dead, but I'm not gonna. I'm just trying to protect this group. And he needs to protect this group here, because white can just play here and kill this slew of stone and be alive. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so he's trying some stuff, but this wall is just so crazy strong, right? Like, he can run, he'll get pushed into it. White is like, the stone's ready to push this group towards it. You don't really have to do much work. Okay, he Atari me. Okay, he's not protecting this group. I'm just gonna play one more Kosame move. Trying to bridge back to my stone here. Kosame. More Kosame. And then again we'll just run straight down, and then he's dead. Like, he can't even. Oh, he's trying to poke this eye out. Well, if I just do this. Do that. Then I connect. Then he has to connect. Then I can push here. But his reading was okay right there. He read that because of this Hane, this cut was possible. Because I couldn't push all the way in and cut like that. That's pretty good. But the only thing is, this group is like super alive. And I guess he can try to poke the eye out, but so I'm just gonna make an eye. He could throw in here and push down here, then here, and then this group will have only one eye. But I think like the Sambai would be, white would win because white could capture these stones right here. Throw in, he would have to take, and then I take, and then Atari. So now he's trying to go for the corner, which is like super alive. But because of these exchanges, the 3-3 is now super open also. If you notice, we're just gonna connect, protect the cut, and protect the cut. He still hasn't protected this thing. Okay, I'm going to rescue my 3 stones since you don't want it. Okay. Okay, so if he connects through, I guess if he connects through, he could try something right here. Not really. It's 2 eyes. See, but then now he play here. That's not Sente anymore, because if he push here, we can Atari down and have 2 eyes. If he connect, then we just connect, and we win inside for sure. So now it's time to go for the 3-3, since he's not defending it. Simple 3-3 variation. Oh, since he doesn't want to give me that, he's gonna give me the connection then. So it's better to connect, because this group is not completely alive yet. Oh, he can't do that. You can't do that. You just get cut. So he pushed here, so now we push here, and it's in Sente. When you say the 3 stones, so now we're just gonna go ahead and play here, since he's not gonna do it. Play here, and then Atari. What is this? The lightning thing. What does that mean? So he made 3 points, 4 points, 5 points, 6 points, 7 points, 8 points, 9 points, 10, 11. 11 points. And he started out very optimistic, just playing everywhere. The goal in Baduk is to get about 60, 70 points. That's all you have to get. Don't try to get the whole board. The whole board is like 400 points, around 300 something, 90 points, 380 points when it starts out. And so out of those almost 400 points, you only have to get 60 to win usually, 60 and 70. So it's not good to play wildly everywhere, because you can get punished pretty hard just by people who play solidly and not just even why doesn't he just hit the resign button? Not much to review this game because he went kind of crazy. Okay, so I guess he watched some pro and he did this. Okay, the reason why pro do this is because one of the counters to the Chinese opening is this position. So Chinese opening wants to develop this area. That's why this stone is at the 3-4 and this stone is at closer to it. Right? So if you make a mistake and go in here, you are in big trouble here, because now you're in between 2 stone and you're either gonna get pins or something like that, but you're gonna be in a disadvantage fight here. So I did like it that he approached first and then come back to the Chinese. So on the first 4 move, you couldn't tell the rank of the player, really. But after this pincer here, I think maybe black should counter pincer. And if white did something like that, black can follow up with something like this. The 3-3 is still open. So white would need to defend it, something like this. Black's position is pretty good. So the shoulder hit is not bad. It's not a bad idea, but that is bad because this is the opposite of what the shoulder hit say. The shoulder hit is saying, take this stone, I sacrifice it, I'm going to develop the outside influence to help these stones, right? So if white push, black most likely will either jump like this to start developing this, or sometime I will even play this, but this will lead to a very aggressive fight. So if you don't like a big fight at the beginning, you just play this, and you can have something along this line, something like this. So black is, at least his opening is cohesive here. But when he try to rescue this stone, and white plays on the other side, well, now his influence is gone, especially now that white have played this stone. Even if he leans here now, because of this, white shape is really strong, and so you can see like white has a follow-up later also of here to pinch this stone. So I think the opening wasn't cohesive for black. And then he went in for the corner because he wants to take the corner and the outside. That's a bit greedy because he really should strengthen his outside first, shape, make white defend the corner, right, with a move. Then he can play something like this. This is somewhat fair, but this is kind of greedy. And then after this, he didn't connect he needed this stone right here to be alive, or else it was a ko, which happened. And then we generated some ko threats before we play the ko. He had to take it, and then we take advantage over here. So we let him live here, but then the corner we took became really huge. And then so here is a squeeze technique. I want to show you guys during the game. So whenever you have a stone that you can hane, and you have like a pre-made extension like this, instead of, you could do this and live, right? But this is not high level play enough, because then now black can connect his two groups together. So what you want to do is, the idea behind this technique is, black has a weak group here and black has a weak group here. So it's similar in chess where you do a fork attack. So instead of pushing black up and then having to live, you push black here this way, and then you push him and split black into two groups, right? So you see this. So at 13Q level, if you can do this, your game will be so strong, because I don't think people can defend this at 13Q level. So he got pushed here, as you can see, all the way out, and then we went back and attacked this. It wasn't even necessary to protect this. I could have just played here and sacrificed this group. See? And then exchange it for this. This is much larger than that. But I wanted to save that group. Just for fun. Usually I would sack this group, because this is more important over here. And then this is another overplay. Notice this group is still weak. There is a double Atari, but it's still weak. And you can't play move like this because then white can just push through. So you have to play, I would have played this move. This is a strong move. It bends and it creates strength in the center for black, and white can't push this group anymore. And then there is still something here to rescue this because of this Atari. So it's hard for white to actually capture this. Let me see if I can find a good move for white. Not really, because of weakness here. White can play here, but then because of this, white's in trouble. So this move is very powerful. Hante move. It looks slow, but it's powerful. Usually in the center, it's not an always true rule, but in the center, whenever you can make a bend, it's usually a strong move. If you are the first one, there's a fight and you're the first one to make a bend. What I mean by a bend is okay, you're moving this direction and then you bend. So your radiation of power was over here, but now it's like over here and over here. Usually, you're going to see a lot of Don players during a fight will make the bend if there is one, because usually that makes your shape super strong. It's an inverse of an empty triangle. Same shape, but this one, it wraps around white. And so after this, there was so many weaknesses. I didn't know which one to exploit. But I just gotta go with this one. Here though, I think there was something here for black. I think black should have played here first. Threatened to cut, and might be turned to on Samai. And I don't know if white can really do anything here. If white does this, black can do this. Then white can't connect here because black would just capture. So white would have to do this, and then black would do this. And then now white's actually in trouble here. No, white's not in trouble because of this. Black would have to do this first. Then this lives fine, but now the outside is escaped. So there was something there for him, but he decided to take this stone, so I gave it to him, and I took the crucial stone, this stone. He still had something here, like this. This is actually scary looking for white, kind of. But anyway, after white took this stone, this weakness is gone, and he really should have rescued these stones. He did so much work to rescue them, and then he just left and went play somewhere else, big point somewhere else, but thickness, and your group is right squeezed in the middle. You can't leave it. I would say that's probably his biggest mistake of the game. So he played that, and then white played that. So he's pretty much dead here. And then it's pretty simple. I could have tried to kill him, but I didn't want to. So he did lived, but with very small points. And then white got a huge corner and a fat wall here. And then now we singled out, see? One of the strategy you want is to build strong groups and then pin your opponent's stone against your strong group and fight towards it, right? So this stone now is going to fight towards the wall here and towards this group here. What you don't want to do is, in this position, do something like this, because even though this is attackable, you are in between enemy territory here. So it's not a bad invasion, I would say, but it is not the optimal play, because you have this option over here where you are pinning them against one of your group, right? It's still the same. You're still in between two stone, but now you can fight towards your strength. So it's like a strategy. When you find there's two options, you find out which option is better and you take that one. So obviously it's this option over here. And then so after this, he lives again, but really small. An idea that professional players hate is to live small. So living with 3 points, 2 points, stuff like this. This is really bad. That means your opponent's winning. So you don't want to do that. So every time you get to live like 2-3 points, that means you did something wrong. Usually, not something right. You might have lived, but you did something wrong. And then here it's just overplaying by black because white was strong already. And then here he got capture. Okay, so here we are at the cross row again, and we have the option to invade here, or the option to shoulder hit and attack this group against your strength, right? So that's what you do. You just start using your walls and your strength and fight towards it. That's the best strategy. You definitely don't want to jump in here, something like this. That's silly because now he can push you towards, right? Now you're running. Look at this. He's getting strong. He doesn't have to fix the group now. You see the difference? This is like directional play. So if you did something like that, black would lean on you, and then now his group is pretty safe now. He's helping his group while he attacks you. But if you attack from this side, if he try to run away, you're attacking this stone and this group at the same time. And you're pretty close to your friendlies. So that is going to be it for this 12Q game. And I think we're going to go ahead and play a regular panda game after this. So this is gonna be for the Q section, and then we're gonna actually I took some notes today, but I want to make it a separate video too, so I'm gonna end this one, and then I need to bring up my notes, but I don't want to bring it up on the stream. I'm gonna pause the stream real fast, and then I'll be back, okay? Alright, I put a little note together for you guys here. It's basically, where is it? Here you go, okay? It's basically 10 things I see that people are not doing that everyone should be doing to improve your game. So this is going to be the easiest improvement you can do for your game ever. So it's a list of 10 things you can do to improve your games. So number 1 is make sure your stone have a purpose. So when you play, make sure you ask yourself, is it attacking? Is it defending? Is it building? Or is it making life, okay? If you don't answer those 4 things, you're probably playing a move that's equivalent to a pass, and that's pretty bad because, you know, in Go, if you pass, your opponent get one whole turn. So make sure you know the purpose of the stone, and if you know the purpose of the stone, then you're gonna get this one pretty easy, is know which stone is vital. So once you play and you know the purpose of each stone, and you know which one is a cutting stone, then you know which stone to save, and then if a stone is not important, don't save that stone, right? So that's the first one, and the second one that kind of relate to that is don't make too many groups. If you look back at the game I just played earlier, Black made like, I think I want to say like 6, 7 groups or something like that. You simply don't have enough power to maintain 7 groups during a go game. Someone's gonna die, and then someone's gonna live real small and tiny, and you don't want to do that. It's not efficient. Uh, the next one is count territory. Okay, you don't have to be super accurate. It doesn't have to be exact, but just guesstimate. Do some multiplication. Do a rough count in the corner and just see where you guys are at. Because sometime if you're ahead by like a good 10, 15 points, then you can change your style and play a little bit more defensive and win the game that way. AlphaGo is really good at that because AlphaGo counts continuously. So make sure you count. And if you don't know how to count, you can start learning how to count. And I think in my Q series, before a couple of videos before, I do go over how to count. Excuse that. That's my rice cooker. The rice is done. It should go off in a second. Okay. And then the next one is don't fall behind in the opening. Basically, in the opening, the first 10, 20 moves, you want to be fast. So you want to go corner. You want to go corner enclosures. You want to go approaches. And then you want to go side extension. But you don't want to play second line, first line, end game moves, stuff like that. So that's what they mean. Try to be fast, open fast, and don't fall behind. Because a lot of times, if you fall behind during the opening, it's really hard to catch back up, especially if it's a tight match. Not tight match, but tight strength. And they say the next one is don't play next to your opponent's thickness, right? So the kind of the inverse of that is in the last game where I would force my opponent to play against my thickness, right? So I build thickness and then I pincer him between my thickness and another stone and then push him into the fight that way. But you definitely don't want to do that as the other person getting pins between thickness. So don't play next to a wall because then you're going to get attacked, basically. That's the idea. So it's pretty common sense stuff, but you still see it being played incorrectly in a lot of games in lower levels. So don't play against your opponent's thickness. Seems pretty basic. The next one is do not try to form open skirt territory. Open skirt territory is, let me open up Panda and show you what an open skirt is so there's no confusion. It's basically building territory that's kind of like really greedy on the fourth lines. So you don't want to do that because let's open an empty board. Okay, I have control, but where's my board? Here it is. So something like this. Let's say white approach like that, and then if white would do something like this, that means open skirt is like, this is open for invasion at the bottom on both sides. So this side and also this side, right? So you don't want that. So usually, to prevent open skirt, the reason why you do that is you go on the third line instead of the fourth line. And if you have a bigger framework, something like that. So right now, white has an open side, right? But it's not a skirt. It's not both sides. So how to fix that is now white can play another one on the third line. So now this is not an open skirt, but something like this is definitely an open skirt territory because white can slide in from both sides. See, so this applies to the high-low rule where if you have a high stone in the middle, the optimal shape is the high stone in the middle, and a low stone on the side, so you're less prone to invasion poke from the outside. And this is an open skirt territory. All right, and then let's go to the next one. The next one is use thickness to attack and not build territory. I see this mistake all the time in the Q games. Is you would be able to build really good thickness and then play an extension from your thickness to try to create territory out of it. That's not what thickness is used for. Usually, when something is quote unquote thick, is alive already, and it's really powerful. So you want to push your opponent. So if you, the whole idea on the last game that I played is basically that it's pushing your opponent against your thickness and not using thickness to make points. That's not the idea for thickness. And then number 7 is don't erase aji. Okay, aji is like it means taste, but it's really a bad taste. Really, for Go is like something left behind after you eat sushi. But in Go, it's like aji is like, let's say you capture some stones and it's not really captured yet, taken off the board, so there's always going to be aji left over. Or the corner is not, you don't know if the corner is alive or not, and you kind of want to test it out. I would say try to avoid that because those are really important for what do you call that, codes later. So you want to fight codes or anything like that, and you just never know. You wanna keep the agi there because sometimes the fight will roll around, and it turns out that the agi that you have there will work for the fight somewhere else off the board, or not off the board, but like on the other side of the board. There's so many times that happens to me where I'll lose a group, I'll sacrifice a group and build a moyo, and then a fight will happen inside the moyo, but it goes back all the way to the group, and then you can play a couple of free moves because of the agi to help you with the fight with inside the moyo. So that's the idea between for that one. And then number 8 is like don't be afraid to sacrifice stones, or sacrifice position, or sacrifice moyos, or sacrifice points, because as long as you get an equal or better compensation back, you can throw stones. There's no rule in Go where if you lose stones, then you lose the game, right? So it's okay to sacrifice them sometime. It's not like in chess. In chess, if you sacrifice a queen, that's really big. You better get something huge back, right? But in Go, you sacrifice a couple of stones. It's fine. They're just stone. There's no such thing as a queen in Go, right? Every stone's the same. And so it's okay to sacrifice them. If some of the stone costs too much to save, then you don't have to save them. You just give them up. But if they're vital stone, though, then maybe you'll save them. So next time, while you're trying to save 1 or 2 stone, think about it first. Think, are these stones vital? Should I even try to save them? And then the last one is like, don't lean on weak stones. So I'll illustrate it here right now. So let's say if you have your opponent has a weak group, something like this, right? And let's see how I'm gonna demonstrate this. Okay, so here it is. So black has a weak stone here, and white has a weak stone here, right? But it's white turns to play. So don't lean on your opponent's stone means if you want to try to rescue this stone, just jump out, right? A lot of time people will do stuff like this, and in return it strengthens your opponent also, which is not a good idea. Like, this is not like the greatest of example, but you'll see it in your game is don't try to strengthen yourself by touching your opponents or bumping into your opponent, because whenever you touch a stone or bump it, they will reinforce it and it gets stronger. If they're a better option to help your stone out like this, then by all means do that instead of the bumping, you know. So that was the 10 things. I know it's 9, but there's 2 number ones. I don't know why that happened there. But that was the list that I had for people to improve their game. And I think if you just try to go over that list by yourself and with your game and see if you find any mistakes or anything like that on there, then it will help you guys out a lot, I think. Anyway, right now we're gonna go to try to find a game on Panda and see if we can find a good game here. And then after this game, I think I'm gonna review it and depend on how long it takes actually. But while we wait, check out the rank graph here. I think we're doing pretty good. We're almost at promotion 9. I think I won like maybe 8 games to get to here. So I want to say like 12 more wins without loss. And we get to 4 down plus. So my goal this year is to get to 6 on IGS. I don't know what rank that is in the other servers, but I feel like the IGS server, the ranks, it's a little more accurate to the international ranks, because I know on TaiJam it's pretty inflated. And then